This is the question asked in today's SkillTrack Daily Challenge. So let us see our sample test cases. In the first line of input, we are given the value of m and n, and then we are given a m cross n matrix as input, and then we are given the value of x. So the question is, there is a practical examination to be held, and every row in this matrix is a unique laboratory, and the row elements are the machines present in the laboratory. So this 1 0 0 0 are the machines in the laboratory, and if it is 1, it means that the machine is working in that laboratory, and if it is 0, it means that it is a faulty machine in that laboratory. So in this case there are three laboratories, so the first, second and third, and in the first laboratory there are two working machines and there are two faulty machines, and in the second laboratory there is a one faulty machine and three working machines. So we are given a condition that a practical examination can be held in a laboratory only when the number of working machines is greater than the number of faulty machines. So first let us find the number of laboratories in which the examination can be held. So in the first row there are two working and two faulty machines. The given condition is the number of working must be greater than the number of faulty machines. So here both are 2. So the condition is false. So this laboratory is not valid. And the next laboratory there are 3 working machines and 1 faulty machines. So this is a valid laboratory because the number of working is greater than the number of faulty machines. Same here, there are only 4 machines and all the 4 are working. So this is a valid laboratory. And now we should not consider this laboratory at all. There are only 2 laboratories in which the practical examination can be held. And in the last laboratory it can occupy 4 students, and in this laboratory it can occupy 3 students because one is faulty. So at most in a session 7 students can do their practical examinations because 4 plus 3 is equal to 7, and the number of students who have to attend their practical examinations is 25. So it is not possible to complete the practical exam in one session. So there would be several batches. So here there are 25 students. If 7 students can complete their practical examination in one batch, then 7 into 3 is equal to 21. After 3 batches, only 21 students would have completed their practical examinations. So in these 3 batches, both the laboratories would be completely used. So the 7 students would be occupying 2 laboratories. Now 25 minus 21 is equal to 4. The remaining 4 students should occupy the laboratory which has maximum machines that are working. So here we can also place 3 students in this laboratory and 1 student in this laboratory, and they can complete their practical examination. But our task is to find the minimum number of laboratories that should be used. So if there are 4 students, then this laboratory can alone be used, and 4 students can complete their practical examination in a single laboratory. So we would be considering this last laboratory. So we shall see our output. So totally there are 4 batches. So in the first 3 batches we are going to use completely 2 laboratories. So we are printing 2, 2 and 2. And for the final 4 students, they can do their practical in this one laboratory alone. So 1. Because we are using only one laboratory in the last session, and for the remaining sessions we used the complete capacity of 2 laboratories. So 2, 2, 2, 1, and the total number of batches is 4. So we are printing it. Now let us see how to write a C program for this. This is the program I have written. So first I am creating some integer variables, and then I am accepting the values of m and n, and then I am creating a 2-dimensional array named mat of size m cross n, and then I am creating another array named available laboratories of size m. So now we have to accept our input matrix. To do that I am creating a for loop. So while accepting the input matrix, I am going to simultaneously check the number of valid machines in every laboratory. So in the row iteration, that is in every iteration of this I loop, I am going to create 2 new integer variables named working machines and faulty machines, and I am assigning 0 for them in every iteration. And while accepting the laboratory machine values, simultaneously after accepting the input, I am going to check whether the input is equal to 1 or not. So if it is 1, it means that it is a working machine, or else it is a faulty machine. So if matrix of ij is equal to 1, I am going to increment the value of working machine, or else I am going to increment faulty machine. So after accepting all the machines in that laboratory, that is in a row, we are going to check whether the number of working machines is greater than the number of faulty machines. So if this condition is satisfied, then it is a valid laboratory. So we are going to store the value in our available laboratory. So the working machine in this laboratory was stored in the variable working machines. So I am storing this into the available laboratory array which we created. So when we obtain our input itself, we would have found the number of available laboratories. So now after finding the number of laboratories, we are going to accept the value of x. So the value of x is nothing but the number of students who need to attend their practical examination. So after accepting the value of x, we are going to check whether the value of k is equal to 0. So if the value of k is equal to 0, then it means that all the laboratories are not valid. Hence practical examination could not be conducted in that college or school. So we are checking if the value of k is equal to 0, we are going to print -1 and exit 0. So here I have separated printf and exit 0 using a comma. So if k is equal to 0, then these two conditions would be executed. Print -1 and then it would just terminate our whole program. So if k is not equal to 0, then there are some laboratories which are available in college or school in which they can conduct practical examinations. So our task is to find the minimum number of laboratories that can be utilized. So to do that, first we have to sort these array named available laboratories. So here I am going to use this bubble sort technique. So for the bubble sort, first we will be iterating from 0 to k-1 because here the length of the array is k, so k-1, and then the j loop iterates from 0 till k-i-1, and the bubble sort operation we are applying here. If ARR of j is greater than j plus 1, then we would swap ARR of j and j plus 1. So after this we would have completed the bubble sorting. So after the execution of this nested for loop, now the array available laboratory would have been sorted. So now after sorting, our task is to calculate the minimum number of laboratories. So to do that we are going to create a new array named labs required, in which we will be storing the number of labs being utilized in every batch of the practical session. And then we are going to create another new integer variable named L, which we will be using to store values into this array. And after that we are going to create a while loop that iterates until the value of x becomes less than or equal to 0, because we have included the condition x greater than 0. So until the value x becomes less than or equal to 0, this loop would be iterating. And in every iteration of this while loop, we are going to create a new integer variable named count and set value 0 to it. So what this count would be doing is, it would be counting the number of labs being utilized in every batch of the practical session. And then we are going to create a loop that iterates from k-1 till 0. So here we are iterating from k-1 till 0 because after sorting the array available laboratory, the laboratory which can contain maximum number of students will be stored at last, because we are sorting in ascending order, and our task is to find the minimum number of laboratories that can be used. So if we want to use minimum number of laboratories, then we have to use the laboratories which can hold maximum number of students. So the maximum number of students would be present at the last. So we are iterating our loop from k-1 and going till 0. And simultaneously in every iteration we are decrementing the value of x, so that the value present at available laboratory of I is the number of students who can attend their practical session currently at that laboratory. So we are subtracting x from it. So x is equal to x minus available laboratory of I. Since we have used a laboratory, we are incrementing the value of count. And if the value of x becomes less than or equal to 0, then we have all the students have attended their practical, so we are breaking out of this for loop. And if the value of x becomes 0, then this loop would also automatically break since the x is equal to 0 or might be less than or equal to 0. And if x is greater than 0 after the execution of this for loop, then it means that the practical examination cannot be completed in one batch. So we will be checking the number of labs that is going to be used in the next batch. So we are going to store the labs currently used in this array named labs required, and then again we will be checking the minimum number of labs that can be utilized in the next batch, so that finally when this while loop finishes its execution, the total number of batches and the number of laboratories that are used in every batch would be stored in this array named labs required. So finally I am going to create a for loop that iterates from 0 till L, because the length of the labs required is here. We are incrementing L. So we are iterating from 0 to L and printing the value present in the array labs required. And before that we are also printing the value of L, because we are also asked in the question to print the minimum number of batches required. So we are printing L first, and then we are going to print all the values present in this array labs required. So now let us check our program with sample test cases. So now I have given the sample input 1, and here is our expected output. So we are also getting the same. So there are totally 4 batches, and in the first 3 batches 2 laboratories are utilized, and in the last batch only 1 laboratory is utilized. So now let us change our input. So in every iteration let us make equal number of working and faulty machines. So what would happen is the practical examination could not be held. So in this case the output should be -1. So let us see what we are getting. So we are also getting -1 as our output, because all the laboratories are invalid, because in none of the laboratory the number of working machines is greater than the number of faulty machines. So practical examination could not be held in this premise. So this is the logic behind today's daily challenge. Thank you for watching.